Hey, it's time for another episode of Refried Scenes. How you doing, Carol?
I feel like I just was here last week.
I feel like it was just here last week, and possibly, quite possibly, the week before.
I think so. Yeah.
You know, if I was a betting man, and I am sometimes, I'd say I'm going to see you next week.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, okay then. All right then. I'm getting a full exposure to Carol Coles, and I must say I'm enjoying it.
Don't worry, I'm wearing clothes.
You get your mind out of the gutter, listeners. This is a Patreon episode of Refried Scenes. We continue our month of Halloweenness. Like I said, Carol Coles is rejuvenating herself. She's taking these 31 days to steal the youth out of all of us lively young people.
Yeah, all of the young kids. The cold, dreary, rainy day just makes my heart sing.
I woke up this morning and I'm like, I fucking hate rain. And Carol woke up like a musical.
Good morning. Good morning.
Just floated out of the bed.
Little ravens flying by me.
Yes, it is a dreary, rainy day here in our headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina, in a little podcast joint with no moving air. It is not the most optimal experience, but we're going to still do our best for you. Thank you for you patrons out there at the $7 and higher tier for listening to these shows. So we're talking a little about some zombies.
Yes.
As you definitely noted right before we went to air, this is the pre-brains stage of zombies.
This is before they were addicted to brains.
A weird thing to be addicted to, but, you know, who are we to judge?
I think that comes in Return of the Living Dead. That's the first time that they started eating the brains.
Specifically, because they're just like, we're just eating
biting.
everything. They're like Native Americans. They're like, waste not, want not.
That's right.
These
whatever.
humans.
We're just we're gnon legs and hands and feet and whatever.
Yeah, we're getting wrist deep in some internal organs.
Yes.
That is the name of your autobiography right there.
Wrist deep
in some internal organs. The Carol J. Cole story. So we're talking about Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, the sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
Yes, which I saw for the first time, I think, last year.
You're kidding.
Yeah, well, I mean, this isn't quite my genre. And I was like, you know what, man? I love Dawn of the Dead. I've seen Day of the Dead a whole bunch of times. And I was like, well, let me plug up this hole that is Night of the Living Dead.
I can see the original.
Yeah, that's just swell.
It's not a very... It has a downer ending.
Yes, it does. It does. I'm like, oh, yes, the black dude lives. No, he doesn't. But
damn you, George Romero.
Yeah. My man was just trying to live. But, you know, you can't always survive, man.
No.
You can't always. There's no happy endings in these circumstances, which hopefully will never actually come to pass.
Hopefully not, no. But if they do, we're kind of screwed because we don't have malls much anymore. And this is the
That's
mall.
true. Like, where are we going? Fucking North Lake Mall?
We can't go hide on Amazon.
Bezos found a way. Let me tell you that.
We'll go hide in the Amazon warehouse.
The warehouse. There it is. Well, no, they're already full of zombies these days.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
All right, so the first one, Dawn of the Dead, our boy Romero.
Yeah, 1978.
Yes.
It took him 10 years to do a sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
Do we know why it took so long?
Probably because he didn't have money.
Yeah, that's why I figured finance. It's so weird because Star Wars was, fucking Star Wars, and yet George Lucas struggled to find funding for Empire Strikes Back, which makes no sense to me.
No sense at all. But here he had to go. He had to go to Italy for funding because Dario Argento. His name just does not flow nicely off my lips.
No.
He's the producer of this.
And did the music.
Yeah, because Goblin is here. I know it is blasphemy amongst certain horror circles, but I can't stand Goblin.
Ooh, we're getting him on the show next week. You two can battle it out.
It's one of the I'm not a huge Suspiria fan of the original Suspiria.
Well, I guess we will get there eventually.
Yeah, but and one of the reasons is the soundtrack.
It's not there for you, huh?
No.
All right, then.
So repetitive. But this one isn't as repetitive as Suspiria. But it's weird.
Is Suspiria going to be on our 20-sided die?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, that's a tease for you guys. You don't know what the 20-sided die is yet.
That's right.
Have we talked about that?
No, we haven't.
Okay, then.
We're gonna have to wait until 2 weeks.
2 weeks from now, yeah.
Because we forgot how many weeks there were in October.
We can't count. We had to slide in an emergency episode. So let's get into this bit of business. Dawn of the Dead, coming off of what I assume was a very successful Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, it was successful in its own way. I mean, it had Night of the Living Dead had zero budget.
Yeah, when you have a $5 movie, all you gotta do is make like $48.
You sell a couple of tickets and you're already in the green.
Yeah.
So this one's in bright living color or dead color.
Yes.
Tom Savini does most of the makeup for this one.
God bless that man.
Yes.
I mean, he every time he pops up on something or I hear about Tom Savini, I'm like, they move him like 3 spots up on people I want to have a beer with.
Yeah, he's actually, I've seen him at conventions, and he's actually very fan friendly.
Yeah.
Can't talk today. And he's a nice guy. But here, this was one of his first films, I think.
Yeah, he looks so young. His hair's all feathery.
It's very 1978, 78.
Yes,
but,
yes, very 70s.
Yeah, we open in a TV station because the dead are walking.
So, before we get into it, this... Okay. As I understand it, all is in the same universe, correct? Is this the first connected universe?
I believe so.
Ooh, yeah. So Night of is when it all starts going down. And then here we're still in like the initial panic crazes.
Right, because this is actually the dawn.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have any leftover characters from Night of the Living Dead because you didn't have any leftover characters from the Night of the Living Dead.
They're all dead.
It's hard to bring back characters. Well,
is it? Is it? And then by day of, like, it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Okay.
Even here, it's months.
Yeah.
Or at least, well, it's months. No, because she's pregnant.
And she's like, well, I know she could have got pregnant before the show went down.
Yeah, she was like, well, he said, I think at one point he said she's 3 months. So at least 2 or 3 months have passed in the mall. I believe. Because she starts to show really like a lot toward the end.
But at the outset of the movie, I assume it's been maybe a matter of weeks because it's still
I think
panic.
it's still like the same night that it started because the guy that he's interviewing is saying the dead are walking and the interviewer's like, you're full of shit.
That's right. Yeah. So the word hadn't gotten all the way out there yet. So
and they're still at work. I mean, if the dead were walking, would you go to work?
No. But I'm hoping that HR does, and I still get paid.
Get paid. just keep the auto deposit going.
Yep. I'm going to work specifically to put in my hours just to see what happens. I will risk that.
Punch out. Shoot a couple zombies on your way.
Yeah, no one's going to check the camera to see if I actually stayed that whole 8 hours. I'm good.
So, yeah, we open in a TV station, WGON. We gone.
Do we know if that was intentional?
I don't know, but I was looking at it and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, this movie starts out weird because we got this and then we have some kind of like Fed raid going down and with uniforms I am not familiar with at all.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they bought them at like Sears.
Sears, generous. Party City, maybe.
I'm assuming that they were raiding because the government immediately instituted a lockdown in martial law.
Yeah, I can see that.
This apartment complex are not bringing their dead to the designated areas because the government started designated burn areas.
Right.
And these people are saying, nope, we're keeping our dead. I don't know why.
I would assume
they're trying. I'm assuming they're trying to. They think much
it's
like
a phase. It'll pass.
It's a phase. It'll pass. We can cure them.
Yeah,
they're still our family.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they're eating other family, but
as long as they're not eating us, they're still our family.
Yeah. So at the radio station, you have Francine and her boyfriend Steven, trying to leave with the helicopter.
Right. By leave with you mean effectively steal
the helicopter because he is the traffic reporter.
Yeah.
And she's like a producer or something, I believe.
Yes, I believe when you first see her, she's behind the camera there.
So she's not like on-air personality or anything like that. But they're trying to steal the news helicopter and get out of town. And he wants to pick up his friend, Roger, who is part of the group that is raiding the apartment building. Correct.
Yeah. I really, really like Roger.
So did I. So Roger's a good character. All these characters are not bad. Francine's kind of a waste of. The Francine and Steven are like the whitest white people sometimes.
Man, who are you telling? Who are you telling? I don't think they did enough with Francine. They made her kind of
useless. Yeah.
I'm just going to play dead mode to all these guys.
She's the Barbara of this film because Barbara in Night of the Living Dead was useless and whiny and you wanted to slap her.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. God, Ben, just knock some sense into her. But in here, Francine, or she's kind of that character. She's just kind of like there.
Well, I mean, until she demands to learn how to fly the helicopter,
Right.
then her agency skyrockets from where it was.
Yeah, because suddenly she's necessary.
Yeah, right. No, I see you laying down those plot points from her.
So they're stealing the helicopter, and Roger raids the apartment building and comes across Peter, played by Ken Foray.
Yes.
Very young. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how you're that young with a hairline that far back
I know.
already, but man, genetics are rough business, man. Genetics are rough
He should
business.
have just shaved at the age of 15. He looks fine bald.
His hair looks like my son's hair now, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, kid, but maybe you'll have some experience killing zombies one of these days. Just take your old man out first, please.
But they are working with some of the racist individuals. So 1978 can drum up.
Yes, yeah. And then we have, it seems like, the families they're raiding in this place. It's supposed to be maybe like some Puerto Ricans, which just seems like a white guy and some brown face makeup here.
Yeah. These are the whitest ethnic people. It's yes. Because I don't think any of these people were ethnic, except for maybe a couple of Vietnamese people.
Yeah. The dude with a wild afro, like the long hair.
Oh my gosh,
I love
was
that
like,
guy.
mind the hair. The hair's doing damage. But this is a good scene because you're introduced to the zombies again. You're introduced to the fact that you have to shoot them in the head in order to keep them down.
Yes.
And then you get the lovely scene of the meeting people.
You get that, like you said, you get the introduction to Peter and Roger, right? You get both of those. So I assume that Peter's coming in one way, and then Roger's
coming in the other. I think they're two different
flanking.
groups.
Yeah, okay. You just don't see the other group because they're focusing. I like Peter from the outset because he's telling the kid, just stick with me.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be fine. Just mind your head and don't get wild out there.
Right.
You should make it through this. And then humans.
Yeah, humans don't do that.
Yep, shot right in the fucking face as soon as he pops his head up.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. This is how we want to play this.
So once they're done with it, once they basically, they get overrun kind of they kind of clear out the apartment complex.
They do a fairly decent
job. They do a fairly decent job, but I think you realize at that point, they realize at that point, it's a hopeless situation. You can't keep on top of it.
Yeah, eventually I think there's, not that there's more people than there is bullets, but there's more people than you have access bullets to.
Right,
yeah.
As we'll see from the remake. But Peter and Roger decide they're going to meet up with Francine and Steven and get the hell out of Dodge.
And Peter and Roger, I'm still a little bit iffy. Do they previously know each other?
Roger knows Steven.
Okay.
So Roger had planned with Steven to steal the helicopter.
Yeah, Roger, and then do Peter and Roger?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sorry, Jesus. Do Peter and Steven know each other? Okay.
No,
so they meet for the first time.
They meet for the first time. Okay. Because then you get that wonderful moment where Francine looks at Peter and goes, "Do you have any brothers? I mean, real brothers?"
Yes. That was such a weird scene.
Wow.
Yeah. And he just plays it smooth.
He looks at her like, damn white women.
Real brothers. Wow.
He doesn't even answer her.
Yeah, I'm just going to look out the window for a while.
Yeah. But they meet up with some security guards that are stealing a boat. And there's a little altercation. But at this point, everybody's like, to each their own. You take the helicopter, we'll take the boat, we'll see who.
Who talks him down?
I think it's there's the goofy guy at the end who asks for cigarettes. I think talks them down. It's like, we're just taking the boat.
We're just taking the boat, man.
Yeah,
It'd be a shame if something would have happened here.
Yeah. So they go their separate ways. I do like that. He asks for cigarettes, and Francine's like, "No, I don't smoke." And then he leaves, and she immediately lights up a cigarette.
Yep. Can't trust nobody these days.
So they fly off, and they refuel once, and excuse me. Then they stop because I think they need more gasoline, or they need a break or something, and they stop at a mall.
Yeah.
They land on a mall.
Well, first they stop to refuel, and that's where they get a little bit overrun.
Yes.
And that's where you realize that was Steven doesn't
yes.
know how to shoot a gun.
No, he's a pilot.
He's a pilot. No, he's not.
He's a traffic pilot.
Unless your hobby happens to be shooting guns, then
you don't. You don't know. He's kind of useless at that. He points guns at people he shouldn't be pointing guns at.
Right, and Peter was not happy about this situation. Now they have a little bit of a rocky start to them.
to their relationship, because it's like you don't shoot the zombie sitting in front of somebody.
Yeah, you don't know where the bolt's gonna go.
Yeah, it's gonna go through their little dead head.
Yeah.
So after that they end up at the mall, and this is probably the most iconic scenes from this film, where zombies on escalators and just zombies wandering around the mall, being very consumer.
Yeah, that was his whole message.
That was his whole message.
Consumerism
is going to turn you into mindless zombies.
And boy, was Romero right.
He was.
Yes.
He actually was. But we're not all mindless zombies at the mall anymore. We're all just mindless zombies at home.
Online, Ooh, a one-click buy?
One click buy.
Yeah. Ooh, Prime.
Empty my cart. Proceed to checkout.
Now, there's a little bit of a discussion about whether or not they should land at this mall.
Yeah.
I think, I can't remember who actually convinced it to, but boy, it was the best idea.
Yeah, I think it was actually
the best
Peter.
come up they could have had.
Peter actually says, let's check it out and get supplies.
Right.
Because they don't have anything.
No.
So
I think they're already out of food. They're about to run out of water.
Yeah. So they land at the mall. And then they notice that there's very few access points coming in, and they can block them off.
Yeah.
Certain sections of the mall. So
Right,
they block off a section of the mall, and then just set up home.
Yeah, and set up shop. Now, the mall itself, now I was not around in 1978. I think
was.
my sister was 1 in 1978. I don't know how malls were set up back then. But this just seems way too good. What malls had grocery stores inside of them?
It's a bit too convenient.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Chopping Mall, which also takes place in a mall. But yeah, that's an entirely too convenient mall with like a gun store and a furniture store.
You got weapons, you got furniture, you got food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
somehow doesn't go bad over months of being on the shelves.
Well, they're all Twinkies, but no. Yeah, so this is a bit too convenient of a mall.
Yeah, but it
fits the story.
It fits the story, right?
So they block everything off, and this is when you learn, because Hare Krishna attacks Francine. And is he dead, or is he just a really, really gung ho Hare Krishna?
And I like that beforehand, like the camera keeps coming back to that guy.
Yeah,
you're like, what's
he's
this
gonna.
dude?
Yeah, so he attacks Francine, and for those of you who don't remember what Hare Krishnas are,
just take a moment out for Carol's wisdom.
And look it up on Wikipedia. They used to inhabit malls and airports.
Airports, my favorite one being from the movie Airplane.
Yes,
he get knocked out by Lloyd Bridges. I think
they can't do that anymore. But
you can't knock them out, or you can't do it.
They can't solicit at the airport anymore.
Right.
I don't think they can solicit at malls anymore either.
I've never actually seen one.
No. It's been a long, long time since I've seen one. So, so this guy attacks Francine, but they put him down, and then that's when we learn that Francine is pregnant.
Right.
And then you get the weird scene where Peter's like, he's talking to Steven, not Francine's. So you want to keep it?
Yeah, I had.
Because,
Yeah, I know how to
take care of that.
I know how to take care. I'm like, what was your previous life?
When did you take care of that, and why aren't you talking to Francine about that?
Yeah, and I do believe Francine takes a little bit of umbrage with this.
She
does.
Fact
that you can have this whole conversation while I'm not. Well, I don't know why she just didn't walk into the room and insert herself into the conversation.
Yeah, lone woman amongst 3 men with guns.
Yeah, and I do see what her logic is from the fact of, I'm not just going to sit here and do nothing all day with you guys. I want to be included in plans, because I think that's where she has that conversation.
Yeah, that's where she has that conversation. She doesn't want to be just put onto the sideline, and you can't have this conversation without me.
Unfortunately, I think she means like that conversation and all conversations. Right? And unfortunately, she just proceeds to still be sidelined.
Yeah, which is, it's 1978.
Yeah, it's 1978, and I'm wondering if the conversations we don't see of the harebrained schemes to come up with, she's just like, yeah, sure, that sounds good.
Yeah, whatever. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah. So then they start fortifying and
just basically living in the mall.
Yeah.
Until the motorcycle guys show up.
Fucking motorcycle guys.
It's like, how does a motorcycle gang survive in this world with all of
Those
these.
are the most wild, reckless people, man. Zombies can't deal with
Wouldn't
recklessness.
they just like grab them off their motorcycles?
I mean, depending on how fast that motorcycle's going.
That's
Zombie
true.
reflexes. These zombie reflexes. These aren't
These
I Am
aren't-
Legend zombies.
No, these are not fast zombies. These are
No.
very much Night of the Living Dead stumbling zombies.
Yeah, this is what the depiction of, I mean, for good reason, of the zombie was for ages until
was
like
small.
the maybe 28 days later. I'm not sure if they're considered zombies there.
When did the remake come? Well, the remake was 2003. I'm not sure when 28 Days Later came out.
2003? Is 2003 the remake? Three,
Yeah,
7,
3 or
something?
4.
All right, and then I feel like 28 Days Later was like 6, 7 then.
Okay, so because Dawn of the Dead had some pretty fast zombies.
They got
Because
some
the remake.
aggressive ass zombies.
Yeah, very aggressive
Okay,
fast zombies.
but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But
These are kind of mindless, and you can probably walk by them
yeah.
if you're just quiet, but if you make noise, then they'll start stumbling after you. It's not the
It's
speed
very
of
Shaun
these.
of the Dead type zombie.
Yeah, it's not the speed of these zombies; it's the number of them. There's just
Right.
an overwhelming force of them.
Oh, there's a lot of us on this planet.
Yeah.
And so before the motorcycle gang gets there, we see. Oh yeah, before the motorcycle gang is there, we get was it Peter that gets bit?
Yes, Peter gets not Peter. No, Roger. Roger gets bit.
Roger
He gets
gets-
reckless.
And he is real reckless. I'm not sure. That seems like a weird.
I think the writers realized they had to kill one of the 4.
Yeah.
Well, they had to kill 2 of the 4, but they had to kill one of the cops, and Peter was going to be your last man standing.
Yeah. I think they knew who their last man standing was. They kind of worked
Right.
backwards
So they
from
worked
there.
backwards. So Roger is bitten, and at this point, I don't think they really know that bites are the thing that is transmitting.
Yeah. They just know this shit's happening, but
Yeah.
they don't have a
And that people
reason.
are eating people. So he's bitten, and he takes a while to turn.
longer than usual, I assume, for dramatic purposes.
Yeah.
They did it on Walking Dead a lot too.
Yeah. The variance of how a bite affects you on Walking Dead would drive me crazy.
It should be standardized, damn it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, is it 2 seconds or is it 2 days? Which is it?
Now, what your thoughts on the relationship between Peter and Roger?
I think it was like, almost like brotherhood by necessity, because they were thrown together in a horrible situation, and they were the 2 authority figures. So
really?
they had to kind of,
I didn't see it as I think they clicked quickly and well.
yeah. And I think it was a really great relationship, which makes you very sad when Roger actually dies and
Yeah.
Peter's the one that has to shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
So
That hurts. The whole recklessness with him, and the truck. So they're moving the trucks to block off
Right.
the last few entrances to the mall
the
itself.
loading docks, yeah,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So and he just gets it's one of those things where it's like, I don't buy the character doing that.
Right.
I can see Steven doing something stupid like that.
Yeah. Like, well, no, and I guess it kind of makes sense because dude was always just a little bit wild, run around, hoot and holler, and so I guess it kind of.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, when it came to the zombies, he didn't seem like
He wasn't as reckless.
He wasn't as reckless.
All right, that's a good point.
Are they called zombies? They're not really
No,
called, they're not called
the
zombies.
Z
here.
word isn't used. I don't even think it's used in Day of the Dead, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think again that's Return of the Living Dead that I think zombies come into the
There you
word
go.
zombies.
Return of the Living Dead is what solidifies it all.
Yeah, because that's when they start eating the brains.
Brains.
Yeah, here it's just any old part you want to go.
Any old part.
Yeah.
Organ donors is what we are.
Yeah. So so Roger dies, and Peter has to put his reanimated corpse down.
And it hurts, man. It
Yeah,
hurts
it
to
does.
see.
That
And
is
by this
really-
point, man, they have fully set up shop.
Yeah, because they're just basically living there. They've got little apartment spaces.
Yeah, they got like a little hot plate in there.
Yeah.
They're heating up the food. They got a little TV. We got a little bit of tension between
Yeah.
Stephen and Francine.
And at this point, I think this is the part where the government, the police standby goes off.
So
yeah.
even that's done.
Even that's done. So they realize that, oh gosh, well, I think the government is just completely
collapsed.
at this point. So
Yeah.
we probably have to get out of here.
Yeah, and their whole plan is whole plan was to get to Canada. Mm-hmm.
Maybe the zombies are nicer up there. Hey, can I have a bite? No? Okay.
And I guess that would still be the plan, is to get to
Canada. Yeah,
I think the plan in the remake made a little bit more sense.
It did.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah.
But here it's just like, let's just go to another country. They obviously stopped them at the border. Stephen does teach Francine how to operate the helicopter, which is a very good thing.
For good and for ill.
Yes.
It's kind of two-faced because them learning or him teaching her is what attracts the motorcycle gang in the first place.
Yeah, and then the motorcycle gang shows up and Steven just kind of like, let's shoot them.
I mean, I might be on Steven's side.
That's true, but it doesn't work well for him.
No, it doesn't.
No.
We get, for my part, the second best shot of the whole movie, just a little bit before that, and that's our boy Tom Savini.
Yes.
Patrolling and surveying, and there's something in there. Let's go. And he whips out the switchblade, but no, it's not a switchblade. It's a mustache comb. I've probably seen Dawn of the Dead like 6-7 times because it's my favorite of the trilogy, and I laugh every fucking time I see it because I love that bit. Love that bit.
So so Stephen is shot, and then he's bitten.
Yeah, they take Stephen out.
Yeah,
man. Those zombies are like, finally we got our hands on one of these bastards. We're gonna take our time with this one.
Months, we're starving. How much Starbucks can we have?
They had put up the fake wall by this point, which the motorcycle gang does not discover.
Right.
Which was a genius idea on, I think, Peter's part?
It was Peter's part.
Man, Peter out here.
Peter is the man.
He's a hustling dude in this movie. I don't know what it is with Romero and black guys, man, but they keep cool heads.
That's right.
During the movie.
And then they lose them. Poor Ben. I just feel bad.
It hurts, man. Like he tried so hard to survive that movie, and
man,
it's just all.
He needed a whiteboard. I am alive.
I guess it's not about surviving the hold. It's just how long you can hold out before something eventually gets you.
Yeah,
zombie or human.
Yeah. So So they put up the fake wall. Then they try to get out of Dodge, right?
Yeah.
Peter kills Stephen because Stephen becomes reanimated,
and the reanimated Stephen still has the memories. And he leads them to the fake wall.
To the fake wall, yeah. Which is odd. This is, again, one of those, they hadn't quite solidified what zombies are in this universe. Do they have the memories?
Well,
I know they show them at the beginning, like, still doing some of their old work.
Yeah, I think somebody makes mention of it. I think it's either Peter or Steven or Roger. That's like, they're still trying to live out their
life.
Something
they're
in
still
life. That's
trying
why
to
they're
do
at the mall in the first place. Yeah. Either they got bitten, turned at the mall, or they got bitten, still made their way to the mall.
Right. I don't know if you saw Dead Don't Die, Jim Jarmusch's new one, but his zombies are similar to that. They fixate on on the thing that they fixated mostly on in life. So like Iggy Pop is a zombie, and he doesn't say brains, he says coffee. And then there's like Bluetooth zombie.
That's like the Bill Murray Adam Driver joint?
Yeah.
How is that?
I liked it. Okay,
cool.
It's an incredibly Jim Jarmusch film, so
okay.
I laughed the entire time.
Yeah.
It's kind of low key humor, and it's quirky.
Very dry.
Very dry. Okay. Very dry.
Sold. I mean, that's what Bill Murray does best, is dry humor.
But I like the fact that the zombies in that one fixated on one thing, and that's the one thing and these zombies are kind of similar to that. They're just like,
if I was a Jim Jarmusch zombie, I'd just be like, boo.
Yeah, I think there is one, actually.
Appealing to all of America. I think in this instance, Steven is like, I know where there's warm bodies at.
So
I'm heading that way.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. It's not like going home or anything like that. It's like
you just like get food, sustenance. And in that elevator scene where Peter gets bit is, for me, the best shot of Dawn of the Dead, where the doors open up and then all the zombies are reaching out. To me, that is the shot.
That's the best. Well, that one, and I just like zombies on escalators. If I had a band, I think that would be the name of my band.
Zombies on escalators. I'll be a companion band, Zombies on the Ice Rink.
Playing hockey.
So eventually, the motorcycle gang breaks into this bad boy. Chaos ensues. Some guy, the most health-conscious motorcycle gang member ever, just has to get his blood pressure checked in the middle of the chaos. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he played this bit for humor.
Yes, I'm assuming so. Because
I die every time. Like, why are you checking your blood pressure, man? There's zombies around. It's obviously going to be high.
You don't want to have a heart attack in the middle of a zombie.
Whoa, guys! I gotta.
God,
Modest told me I gotta
sit down.
I'll just play lookout for this time around. But his friend go, come on, man, they're shooting at us. And then he returns back to the blood pressure thing, and then that's where the zombies get him at. Hurts. That one hurts me.
Well, hey, he's pulling blood. Let's go. His blood pressure's really high. Now's the time.
Now's the time. We knew he'd be back. They kill Savini. I think they toss him off the second floor, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
he gets a nice little stuntman death there.
Yeah.
I doubt it was Tom Savini.
I doubt it was Tom Savini. And then that's it. And they kind of, I'm not sure what the motorcycle gang's purpose was.
To get them out of the mall. They had become, I think, too entrenched.
So they just wanted to uproot these people's lives.
Right. Well, their purpose, the motorcycle gang, I think, was looking for a place to hole up. So, and then you just want to clear out whoever is there, because why would you work together?
Takeover.
Yeah. So, but unfortunately, they brought everything in with them. So suddenly it wasn't safe anymore. So
and they're like, "Oh, let's get the fuck out of here, guys. This shit isn't safe anymore. I don't know how."
Yeah.
And the remainers dip on out.
Yeah. So it is kind of it's a plot contrivance.
Yeah.
To get the characters out of the mall.
I think it is that, and I also think it is Romero's way. I mean, this movie is all like 4 or 5 seasons of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
No matter, even though the zombies should be the threat, it's the fucking alive human beings that are still going to fuck things up and make things horrible and inconvenient for everyone. I think that was his purpose of the motorcycle gang, and also using that to get them out of the mall. Right. And that's pretty much what they showed season after season after season of Walking Dead.
It's like, it's not the zombies you have to worry about.
It's the humans.
It's the humans.
It's
the humans.
Oh,
the
this place looks safe. Nope, they're crazy. Let's get out of here. Oh, this place looks safe. Oh, they're crazy.
Eating people.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they're wearing zombie faces. Let's just
let's get up out of here. And then, so the zombie Steven leads them up the way. And then they're like, all right, well, we got to bug out. And Steven, Peter gets bit. And he's going to shoot himself. Does he get bit?
That's the thing. I don't know.
I don't think he does.
Because he thinks he does. Because he's like thinking of shooting himself.
I thought he was just like, fuck, I've cornered myself.
Okay.
And I got no way of getting up out of here.
I thought he got bit.
I thought he was just going to shoot himself before they got to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought he got bit. But then I don't know if he got bit or not. Because he didn't turn. He didn't turn at all.
If he got bit, then he wouldn't have got on the helicopter because he's just going to make himself liable to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think he gets bit.
Okay. But in the end, they do get on the helicopter.
Yeah. Peter kills Steven, locks himself in a room and contemplates suicide.
Okay. So
that scene, I think, also. So The Walking Dead had a scene like that where it's Tyrese in the car, I think.
Yeah.
And I think Tyrese is kind of just giving up hope. I'm just going to let them get me. And then at the very end, he makes that switch. And he just comes out swinging, which is a callback to the Walking Dead comic where he locks himself in a gym. And then they're like, all right, well, I guess we got to go in here. And then they walk in, and it's just bodies strewn about. And Tyrese
and he's just, standing there. God, I can't remember what he used.
I think they're directly referencing that.
Yeah.
So, and then they use her motor or helicopter skills and
fly on out of there to where?
Which my favorite ending lines of a movie. How much fuel we got left? Not a lot. Okay, the end. They went to the neighboring rival mall.
Yes,
and landed. They went from North Lake to Concord Mills and set up shop there. So this has got AMC that's better. And the end.
That's it.
Yeah. I love the shit out of this movie.
I did too. It's been a long, long time since I watched it. It has some pacing issues. I'm glad we watched. There's 2 versions. We watched the 2-hour and 19-minute version. Right. There's like a 2-hour and 30 some odd minute version.
Yes.
I'm curious to go back to see what he added.
That middle kind of where they're getting themselves established, like getting the food, which is all very logical, necessary. We got to clean out these. We're going to kill all these zombies so we can move safely.
Right.
Well, they're all going to stink, so now we got to clean up all the bodies. We got to patch up all the holes. We got to build this fake wall.
Yeah.
That all is very logical, very necessary, but also not quite entertaining.
It tends to drag a little bit.
Right.
The makeup is very 1978. zombie makeup.
Yeah,
Very blue.
They're very blue faced.
Very blue.
I'm not sure why they
Almost Andorians from Star Trek.
Just missing the antennas up there. Maybe Romero's going for like the blood is drained out of them.
That's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm assuming.
Sure. We'll
he worked black and white with Night of the Living Dead, so he didn't have to worry about that shit.
Yeah.
So here it's like, I think most of the gore effects, other than it's got a very Italian giallo horror feel to it because the blood is incredibly orange.
Yeah.
Which is just all over Italian horror films. It's just
they like their orange blood, man.
Orange blood.
Argento's like, it's got to be orange.
Yes, you got to hire a goblin. You have to have orange blood.
All right, fine, dude. Just
Fine,
give me the money. Just give me the money.
Just give me the money so I can make my film.
Now, budget was 1.5 mil, made 55 mil.
So it made money.
Yeah, you could say this is a slightly successful film.
Yes, slightly successful. I love the poster to this one. I'm now looking at some of the shots of some of the gore effects, and I have to say, wow, good job, Tom Savini.
Savini, man, that man knows his job. When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Yes, the zombie makeup isn't effective, but most of the gore here, like the shootings and stuff, is very effective.
Yeah, very well done.
Yeah, so I did really like this film a lot.
I dig this movie.
Yeah.
All right, and then we got the remake.
The remake.
Zack
Snyder.
Zack Snyder's first major film.
Yeah, it's written by James Gunn.
Yes, it was. I was like, was that Gunn's name in the credits?
Yep.
And this movie ain't that bad either.
No, 2004.
No. Yeah.
Has a much better female protagonist.
Yes, that it does. A much more active.
Yes.
A bigger cast, too.
A bigger cast. So you have to have a couple assholes. But
yeah, what you do. Which you do. Any of the assholes at the end end up being, well, except for Type
Except
Girl.
for one. So, what's her name? She's a nurse. Anna the nurse. Anna is
Anna Clark.
played by Sarah Polley.
Mm-hmm.
Who I just always remember from Adventures of Baron Munchausen when she was a tiny little child.
Shout out to Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, I love that film. Anyway, she's a nurse and she goes home. This was kind of confusing to me because she meets a little girl in the street who's, I can skate backwards.
Mm-hmm. I assume like a neighbor or something like that.
Yeah, and then because there's stuff happening at the hospital, lots of people are coming in.
Yeah.
This doesn't have like the immediate, the dead are walking.
Yeah,
type
this
thing.
doesn't have the immediate franticness
Right.
that Dawn of the Dead has. This starts very peaceful, very serene.
She drives
people going
home,
about their
talks to the
lives.
little girl next door, goes and has shower sex with her husband.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? And then
Why wouldn't you?
and then the next morning, little girl's in her house, and for a moment I thought, is that his daughter? Was she? But then she said, "No, say hi to your mom for me." When she was talking to her, so I'm like, that little girl get in their house.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a doggy door.
Maybe she came in through the doggy door. Maybe they just had the door unlocked. Man, don't leave your door unlocked or open these days.
I mean, zombies will walk in.
Yes.
So, yes, the next morning, little girl Vivian is standing.
Goes to town on my man.
On her husband Luis. And just rips his neck off. She's got some chompers.
Yeah,
those are obviously not her baby teeth.
No. She skipped past baby or full grown teeth and went to zombie teeth real quick fast.
And this is where you get the first instance that these are fast zombies because she throws Vivian down the hall and she just flips up and
she
runs.
makes a bit of booking for it. And
Yeah.
I was not a fan of this at all. I was like, no, I'm not used to these. No.
This was actually kind of frightening.
Yeah.
And then
I survived in the Dawn of the Dead world for a good long while.
Yeah.
Well, unless George Romero's doing the movie, then I'd probably die at the end. This one, I don't think I last too long.
I know, because these are fast zombies and they're crowding zombies. There's lots and lots of them very quickly.
Yeah.
Which I think is a logic problem in this film, but I'll get to that in a little bit.
It's the worst combination. You give me, I would rather take either slow, smart zombies or fast, dumb zombies. Yeah. I think I Am Legend gives you fast, smart zombies. Yeah. And this one's kind of fast. They're just aggressive.
They're fast. They're very aggressive.
Yeah.
Her husband turns very quickly.
Yes.
And then she has to climb out the bathroom window.
Yeah.
And get in the car. I felt sorry for Sarah Polley because she wears that bloody shirt for like a good 30 minutes of this film.
Right. Like by the time, right when I get to the mall, I'm like, let me get a new shirt.
Getting some new, but then you got the security guards. So she drives off, and her neighborhood is in ruins.
Shambles real quick.
Real quick. There's just.
So we don't know the amount of time from when they had their shower sex. Is it the next day?
I assume it's just the next day or something.
Shit goes downhill overnight. Real fast.
Quickly.
Why didn't they know? The screams, nothing woke them up.
There's like, when they're in the shower, there is an emergency broadcast on the television.
It's true.
But they're too busy. They're too busy getting busy. Yeah. So maybe they just say, Afterglow, turn off the television. We don't need the world. Ignore the screams and the sirens. But yeah.
It's probably just that poltergeist house getting
it's just another house collapsing and we shouldn't have built on
the Indian burial ground,
tomb or a graveyard. But this is Milwaukee, so
yeah,
not California. So she drives off, and her neighborhood is just ruined,
reckless.
And she's accosted driving down the road. Some guy tries to steal her car, and she crashes.
Yeah,
she crashes right into some credits.
Oh, the producer. I watched this movie 2 days ago, and I've already forgotten large swaths of it.
I watched it this morning, so it's pretty fresh in my mind.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so she crashes her car. We get the credit sequence, and where we get some nice we get footage of people turning into zombies.
I did like one thing Zack Snyder is great at. Say what you want about his films, but his opening credits game.
He's very good at using his music.
Yes, he is. So this on Watchmen.
Yeah.
Great. Outstanding opening credits.
And this does have the Zack Snyder kind of feel, patina, whatever you want on it. Mm-hmm. He started with that immediately, I guess.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta make my signature or something.
Yeah, it's gotta be a color scheme. This one is kind of gold.
Yeah.
It's there's like a golden haze over everything. But she gets out of her car and meets up with Ving Rhames.
Yeah, who's searching for the meats.
Yes.
We have the meats. All right, man.
Playing Ken, which is a nice nod toward Ken Foray.
Right.
Who shows up in this?
Who shows
Savini shows up.
Savini shows up. And
Roger
shows up.
Roger
too.
shows up, yes.
I can't remember. I was just reading that Roger showed up. I can't remember where he showed up at.
Oh, God. It's gone.
Savini shows up on TV.
Yeah, he's on TV. He's one of the people they're talking to when they're killing all of the dead people.
And then Ken's the preacher, right?
Ken's the preacher. Yeah, telling you that the dead will walk the earth and everything like that. I think they're all on television. I don't think that they're actual characters in the film.
Okay.
But I'd have to go back and find out where Roger shows up. But she meets up with Ving Rhames, who plays Ken. Mm-hmm. He's a cop.
Yes.
And they meet up with Michael, Luda, and another one.
And it's Michael.
Luda is very, very
Andre, played by Mekhi Phifer.
Yeah,
in an early role,
early-ish
type role.
Yeah, so Luda is very pregnant. Like she's like 8 months pregnant.
Yeah, she's about ready to pop.
Yeah, this is another logic plot hole that I had a problem with here
because we don't know how long they're holed up in that mall.
But it seems like an awful long time.
Yeah, so she's like 12 months pregnant there? It's been a long year for you, huh?
Enough to have chess games with Andy across the street and stuff. So, but anyways, they meet up. Yeah, she meets up with, and Ken is going toward Fort something. Yeah, because his brother is there. But Michael's telling them, no, you can't, because it's just completely overrun.
Yeah.
So they go to the mall.
Man, he's like, we'll roll with you then.
We're going to the mall.
Going to the mall. Yeah, some routines must be kept.
Yes, and this mall is actually deserted. There's no zombies there's very few zombies inside the mall.
I assume that by the time we get there, those three fools
have cleared everybody out.
I've already cleared them all out.
Because we meet up with CJ and his couple of other security guards.
Yeah.
CJ is an asshole at first.
Yeah, at first. He's the first one to get wise.
Gives power of authority, man. He's the rent-a-cop. So
You're right.
But it's Terry, CJ, and Glenn. Is it Glenn?
Yeah, yes.
Or Bart. I can't remember what his name is.
Michael Berry.
Michael Berry. He's Bart. He's Bart. So there are 3 security guards in the mall, and they're like, we know you can't stay here. We're staying here.
You know how big this mall is? It's three of you.
Fucking mall. You can
Yeah.
take one store, we'll take
You
another
take the
store.
east wing, we'll take the west wing.
But eventually they lock them in one of the stores.
Yeah, they managed to get their weapons away from them because
Yeah.
they are just complete dicks at the very beginning.
They are.
That was my issue. Is for no reason.
There's no reason.
No
Yeah,
reason
I get you're
whatsoever.
power hungry, but there's no reason for you to be this rude to other survivors.
Yeah.
But
You would think at this point, like, yeah,
you'd want
we're
more
in this
people
together. Yeah, safety in
particularly,
numbers.
Ving Rhames.
He's got the meats.
If I'm in a zombie apocalypse, damn right I want Ving Rhames on my
Yes.
side.
I'm all for safety in numbers, so that's more people the zombies can eat before they get to me.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Yeah.
more people you can just hamstring and just.
All right, so remember that, you patrons, do not have Carol Coles as part of your
I will
gang.
Otis you.
We need the medicine man.
So they lock them in a store.
Right.
But then the next morning, Terry, the sensitive security guard, lets them out. At least lets Anna out so she could go to the bathroom because apparently the store they were in had a fake bathroom.
Yeah, like what was it? A display? What was that store?
How was that?
Maybe it was like I don't know, like a display for faucets or something.
I don't know, but so once they're out, they're out.
Yeah.
It's like we're not going to get back in the cage. Fuck you.
Because we're human survivors, we're not going in a cage.
Yeah. So they're kind of fighting back and forth at this point, and then a truck comes barreling. Well, first off, do they see? No. Michael says we need to put signs on the roof saying there's people here.
Yeah.
So they go up top, and oh no, the truck comes in first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the truck with the other survivors.
Yes. So this truck comes barreling through, and at this point, the parking lot of the mall is pretty crowded.
Yeah, with zombies.
And this truck comes barreling through, misses the loading dock. Oh, good driving, Norma. And crashes. And they go out to get the survivors. And here was where I was like, you ain't bringing that fat lady in. She's obviously dead.
Right, yeah, done. She's
done.
Leave them to
They're
distract.
wheelbarrowing
Push her
her.
out to distract the zombies. Let the rest of us
Yeah,
get
they're
out.
wheelbarrowing her in, and she just looks horrible. And I'm like, no.
Nope.
That
nope.
would not come in my mall. I would be CJ on them. It's like,
yeah.
no, she's already gone. But you have some more survivors. And here's where the names
And that's what, this one, this ensemble's a bit too big for me.
Yeah, Steven's the asshole, the complete and total asshole.
Yeah, I just know, oh, yeah, it's Ty Burrell.
And then you got Matt Frewer for half a second.
Oh, yeah.
He's bitten, because he's bitten on the hand.
Yeah, he sticks around for maybe about 15 minutes.
Yeah, and his daughter. And then the old lady that is also bitten and is obviously dying. And then you have an older man and, oh gosh.
Oh, you have the older lady who gets shot by Mekhi Phifer.
Yeah, that's Norma. She's the
That's
driver.
Norma, yeah.
And then you have, oh God, and I did feel so bad when he died later on too. What's his name? Tucker?
Yes,
Tucker.
Boyd Banks. It's
Tucker, kind of hillbilly guy. He's just got a sore ankle. He
Yeah.
won't bit. He weren't bit at all.
I mean, I understand it's part of the tropes now. If somebody gets bitten, they try to hide it from the group and
Yeah,
whatnot.
because Luna gets bit.
Yeah.
And Andre hides it from the group. But Matt Frewer's character is very obviously bitten. Anna at this point realizes that it's the bites that's transmitting
Right.
the disease. So if they're bitten and they die, it's going to kill them. And when they come, they're going to come back.
Yeah.
Because the old lady dies and then immediately comes back.
Mm-hmm.
There's some nice effect makeup here.
There is. There really is.
But she puts her down with like a curtain rod or something.
Hey, man, whatever weapon
works.
I feel like it would be my luck that if a zombie attacks me and I'm flailing for weapons, it's just gonna be all dull objects. It's gonna be like
Butter knives.
oranges, a bowling ball, just nothing with a sharp edge to it, like a dough roller maybe in there. And knead their head to death.
Yeah, you'd be in the kitchen gadget store and there'd be no, sharp
Why
gadgets.
am I not in the knife aisle? No. The paper towels,
Why am I on the cake pan aisle?
baking sheets.
No. So Matt Frewer's character realizes that he's going to turn into a zombie and says goodbye to his daughter. And then
That's a nice little scene.
it is a nice little scene. And then Ken shoots him because they realize at this point that if you get bit,
It's a wrap. It's a wrap on your day.
So Andre hides Luda.
Yeah. Let's talk about Andre for a second. He is unhinged from the beginning.
He is.
Maybe not unhinged,
not
just
unhinged.
angry.
He's angry, and he's not assessing the situation properly.
Not in control of his emotions.
No.
I think angry with a tinge of panic underneath
I
there.
think he's more than a tinge, but
Yeah, you're probably right. More than a tinge of panic and madness.
He thinks his goal is to bring this baby into the world.
Right. And with a better life, which should be any parent's goal, is to bring the baby and give that kid a better life than what you had.
But when you're having to chain the mom to a bed because you know she's going to turn into a zombie.
Yeah, your priority should be shifting a little bit to anything.
I also didn't like that he was looking at Luda, and Luda's like, I want the Russian name. No, we talked about it. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I guess they try to have
There's two names here. Why don't you just...
you get a first in the middle. Just make one American, make one Russian, keep moving.
So
I guess it was their attempts at trying to bond them a little bit before, but it didn't really
but
quite. There's not like chemistry between those two.
No, I didn't feel like this was really a couple.
Yeah. I feel like was this planned? Was this an accident?
I don't think this was planned. I'm pretty sure this was an accident. But he's hiding her because he wants to make sure the baby's born.
Yeah, he's way more concerned about that baby than he is about
anything else. Everybody else just starts settling into CJ and his buddies basically kind of come together.
They integrate. They stop being assholes.
Bart is killed. They go down to the generator goes out.
So they go down and get overrun a little bit. And that's kind of like where they all come together. Like, all right, then we can all help each other.
We all have to help each other.
Yeah.
And Bart gets killed at that point.
Right.
He gets taken down. And then they just kind of settle in and you have dinners, and Michael and Anna get to know each other. And
Steven's just fucking everything he can.
Yeah, and filming it because there's cameras. And then they go up to help us survivors inside on the roof, and then they notice Andy in the building across the way.
Yeah.
In the guns and ammo building.
This is a nice relationship between Ving Rhames and Andy.
So they start with whiteboards posting messages to each other.
Yeah. Which my question is, again, we don't know how long they were in that mall, but man, I guess those dry erase markers never run out, man.
No.
Never go dry.
Never go dry. But yeah, he starts playing chess with him.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep going back and forth. And then
it's a weird relationship to have.
It is, but I felt for Andy.
Yeah. Like a person you just barely can't get to.
My problem is, why didn't they think of getting him sooner?
Right.
Because at one point, I'm trying to think of, because Luda goes into labor. She dies.
Yes, thankfully.
She dies and then goes into labor.
Yeah. So then does the baby eat his way out?
No. Then it comes out normal. You don't see everything, but there's blood there. So I'm assuming, and I didn't see holes in her belly.
Yeah.
So Norma goes to bring supplies to them because they're worried because Andre's not letting anyone check on Luda, including the nurse.
Yeah, which makes no sense whatsoever.
So she goes in, and Luda's dead. Well, not dead. She's
turned.
She's turned, and she's straining against her bonds because he has her chained to the bed.
Right.
And Norma's like, "Oh shit!" And Andre shoots her.
Yeah, and she shoots him, right?
Yeah, because she shoots Luda.
That's right.
And then he's like, "Kill my family."
If you have a weird Mexican standoff with a third person didn't know there was a Mexican standoff.
Yes. And then they all come running, and then they look at the baby, and the baby is all zombie and icky.
Yeah, that baby got to go.
Yeah, and they thankfully shoot it off screen.
Yes. I can't remember what the impetus is for them saying we got to get the fuck out of this place.
Andy writes, they find Chips the dog downstairs when they go to the...
Yeah.
I like Chips. Anyway.
Chips with an S is a weird name for a dog.
Chips is important at this point because Andy...
has run out of food.
And he writes hungry on his whiteboard. And they decide what they're going to do because the zombies don't seem interested in Chips.
Right.
They're going to put food on Chips and have him running across the street to the dog door at the guns and ammo shop.
Which I assume that they didn't try to get Andy before because he was holed up, he was safe, he was comfortable, he had food until he didn't have food.
Until he didn't have food.
Yeah.
And he was starting, I don't know how long. He looked
terrible. Because that's the first time you don't see him without a shirt on.
Right.
Yeah.
So how long has he been hiding that he hadn't had food?
A while.
So they send Chips over, but it's too late because the zombies follow Chips through the
doggy door, and it's a wrap for.
It's a wrap for Andy, and I felt bad. Man.
That one hurt.
That one
man.
hurt. That
one
was
hurt.
like, oh, poor, because he looks like he's writing on the board, and he turns around, and it's all just blood, and I'm like, oh, poor Andy.
Yeah, man, that one got me.
And then Goofy Girl, God, what's her name? Nancy or something?
Sure.
Yeah.
It'll be Nancy now.
I don't think it's Nancy. It's
Nicole?
Nicole. It's Nicole.
Yeah,
Monica's
Nicole.
the blonde chick that Steven's banging.
Is, yep.
Nicole, who has bonded with Chips because her dad has died, goes trucking over there with the truck to go save Chips.
Jesus. And that's what fucks the whole thing.
It was pretty fucked before, but this fucks the whole thing because now they have to, because they had been planning to leave the mall anyway. They had been, you have a montage of them refurbishing buses that are down below.
That's right.
You get the whole montage thing with putting, I don't know where they're getting the razor wire.
What stores are in these malls?
I don't know, but very convenient stores. Very, very convenient stores.
It's just a mall of convenience stores.
A total convenient mall.
There's a 7-Eleven there. There's a Circle K there.
Yes,
There's a Quickie Mart there.
You got Slurpees. The power's still going somehow months later.
Right.
But again, is it months later? Because Luda was like 8 months pregnant. So
maybe just a couple weeks.
Maybe it's just a couple weeks here.
Maybe it's just a week or two.
It was a very...
I feel like they didn't last as long as the Dawn of the Dead original.
No, but there's a lot more zombies here because when Nicole goes across the street, there's just swarms everywhere. But she crawls inside and finds her doggy, and then Andy starts attacking, and she... Okay, we got to go get Nicole. We got to get out of here.
That's not my part of the plan.
So they go through the sewers, and this was where I was like, well, if you knew this was going, if you could go through the sewers, why didn't you just get Andy through the sewers like days and days ago?
Right.
He could have like bagged up all the ammo and come down through the sewer.
They could have made a couple trips.
So,
because down in the sewers before, that's where the first guard gets killed.
Now he was in the garage because they were going to the generator. That's
where, they go through the sewer. Yeah.
So I'm like, you got several different options here. I'm not quite sure why you didn't take care of this beforehand. And why don't you just keep in the sewers? Because nobody seems to be down there until you let them down there.
Right. I mean, there's no reason for humans to be traipsing around in the first place. Therefore, no zombies down there. Yeah. I mean, sewers suck. Yeah. Staying alive suck. No, it doesn't. So do that.
Do the Andy thing from Shawshank Redemption. You just crawl through.
Yeah, and maybe you come out clean somewhere else.
That's right.
You poke up your head of a manhole every once in a while. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
It's quiet around here. We can get
We can get out of the sewer, wash up, go back down in the sewer.
Right?
Get some food.
Like a new stinky life.
But they go and rescue Nicole and Chips. And on their way back down into the sewer, Tucker falls and breaks his leg.
Right.
And CJ goes to help him, and this is actually kind of a nice scene because he's dragging him while Tucker is just shooting zombies.
Got a little bit of Gemini Man this week.
But it's no use. Tucker goes down.
And this is where they start one by one kind of.
So they decide, okay, we got to get out of here. Just load up, let's go.
Yeah.
And
that's where they're trying. Oh, that's when Steven's like, I was just fucking get in my boat and go to the island. What island?
I don't know. It's like, well, we're in freaking Michigan. It's the land of 1,000 islands. Let's go.
There you go.
So they hop into the trucks and they try to leave, but there's so many zombies.
They just can't get
can't even move.
Get good momentum going.
So CJ takes a propane tank and
throws it out there.
And then this helpful zombie lifts it up and goes, hey, I got your son. And
it looked like a big thing. He's like, I pick big things up, I put big things down, I pick big things up.
Got your propane tank right here.
I pick big things up for you. Oh, thank you.
Boom, and just blows up a shitload of them up so they can move forward. But then you get what? Oh gosh, I laughed so hard at this because they had made the buses so they had chainsaw holes, so they could just put chainsaw blades out.
That's kind of fucking smart.
That's smart. Just chop the legs off as they go. And Grandpa, I can't remember his name. Grandpa starts the chainsaw up to go do that, and then the bus moves, and he just turns around and just chainsaws Monica right down.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, that's not part of the plan, was it?
So Monica's down, and we have determined at this point that if you die from anything other than a bite, you don't turn.
You're good. Yeah.
Which I don't know if that makes sense. How are there that many zombies?
Like, where's all the natural death people at?
How did this start? Well, that would mean that it's like 28 Days Later, where it's a virus.
Yeah, like, well, that's one thing zombie movies, for the most part, just kind of glaze over the fact.
They ignore the fact that...
Who is patient zero?
Basically, yeah.
How did this person become... Yeah.
Yeah, but they just
it was that fucking squirrel from the Poltergeist remake. He got out of that cage.
Got the clown virus.
The clown virus. Yep. Man, clown virus gets you every time.
So, yeah, because that really didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because I'm like, where did all these other people come from? It's just not, seems like way too many people. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, because so Monica doesn't turn because she gets killed by a chainsaw.
Right.
Grandpa gets killed, I think, in the crash, because at that point the bus flips.
Yeah, I think Grandpa might take. I think that's where. No, that's not where Steven gets it, because he turns.
He turns, yeah, because he freaks. He bugs out first. Yeah, doesn't wait for Ving Rhames. But the second bus goes back and saves Ken.
Yeah, that's where CJ's getting most of his heroics at.
Yeah, he saves Ken, and they get. Is Ken the only one from that one? Nicole.
Yes.
Nicole is in that one, and Chips. So
damn dog. That damn dog.
So those are the three that make it from the bus, because Steven tries to run first, and he immediately gets overrun.
And who is it? Was it Anna that takes him out?
Anna takes him out.
Yeah.
Anna shoots him in the head.
That was satisfying.
That was, because he was such a douche.
Such a douche. Like, what did he really contribute to the group?
Well, his keys to the boat.
A little thing, but important.
But important. So which is what she grabs. She grabs why would he keep his boat keys on him?
Right. Yeah, like usually you just grab them from the house whenever you're going to go do boat shit.
Or usually you keep them at the marina, because the marina will keep them for you. Because it's even on like a floaty bobber and everything. Yeah. I'm like,
maybe it was a spare copy in case. I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows? But she
got him.
Grabs his key, and they get on the bus, and they drive off, and they make it to the marina.
And we've made it. They're safe and sound.
No.
The end.
No, because first CJ buys it, because he doesn't get off the bus for some fucking reason.
Well, I think he had to hold them at bay long enough for the rest of them. He get untethered.
Yeah, and then he blows the bus up, because they have a huge propane tank in there.
Yeah, so whatever. He makes the heroic sacrifice.
Yes.
So he makes the full character turn from being a complete dick to a hero.
Being sacrificing himself, and then our last four survivors and the dog get on the bus and Chips get on the boat and sail off.
And as soon as they, I guess, through the
and Michael. Oh wait, Michael got bit. Michael was the fifth one. Michael and Anna. He was such a...
Yeah, that's right.
For being a lead character, this guy was kind of forgettable. And he's a lead character. He has he has good ideas. And then,
that's true.
But then he gets bit, and he stays behind because he knows he's going to turn, and he's like, "Goodbye, Anna. Goodbye."
Yeah.
And then as they're riding off on the waves, you hear a gunshot, so you think he
took himself out. Yeah.
And you think that's the end. It's like they're safe. No.
Nope. No. And then through a series of quick vignettes.
First vignette, boobies. Because it's like Steven's old tape, and then
that's right. Yeah. I found Steven's tapes.
We haven't had tits this entire film.
Yeah.
The end credits,
boobies. And I was like, well, we were destined at some point. It is a horror movie.
Because he's taping over one of Steven's old tapes.
Yeah.
And he's just taking little snapshots of them on the boat.
Life on the boat, I guess.
Yeah, and then...
And as soon as that boat docks, Chips is like, fuck you!
I'm out! They don't want me!
Ain't no loyalty in Chips.
No. And then they realize that the island that they've landed on has been overrun.
And then they all get ate as well.
I'm assuming so, because I don't think...
there's no time to get back on the boat.
Yeah. So, once again,
ain't nobody surviving any of these joints.
No.
It hurts. So, which one do you... I assume you're going with the original over the remake?
I am, by a slight margin. I have to say, this is how you do a remake. Of the remakes that we've watched, this is probably the best one so far.
All right.
I think it's not a bad film in its own right. Mm-hmm. You take the bare bones of the original, and then you just kind of build on it. Yeah. It's got some pretty decent effects. there are plot holes all over the place in this damn thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much time went by, but I really felt for the character of Andy. I liked Andy, but no, I got to give it to the original.
Yeah.
I thought going into this week that this might be one where I actually give it to the remake, but then I rewatched the original. I'm like, no, this is actually a really good film.
It holds up so well. But besides that blue ass makeup, it holds up so well.
And the kind of but even the drawn out, we're setting up shop in the mall scenes. I actually enjoyed them too. I don't mind when a movie takes its time.
Yeah.
It has a tiny bit of pacing issues, but I don't think it detracts from the movie at all.
Agreed.
The remake is only like 90 minutes.
Remake is in and out, man. The remake is quick.
Really quick.
That's why I watched that one first. I was like, all right, let me knock
But I
this
do
one
think
out.
I think James Gunn was very smart in kind of paying homage to the original, but not just redoing the original.
Yeah, we'll take a beat here, a point there.
Right. And I think that Zack Snyder was smart in having those people come back from the original just for fan service type things.
Yeah, it was a nice little
yeah.
bit.
I think as remakes go, this one isn't bad.
Not bad at all.
No.
Not bad at all. And that's it for Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Boom. We have 2 more.
Yeah.
left since we don't know how to count.
So our emergency episode is next week, and we're doing Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, which when I text you, well, what thoughts do you have? The only thought I had was Evil Dead. And I was like, all right, me and Carol on the same page. I like it. So we'll be back for regular Paprika, one of the free shows, the Sam Raimi joint, the Fede Alvarez, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Evil Dead. So until then, stay tuned, and you guys take it easy out there.